Let's go.
It's your back, it dey keep passing. It dey bring out the best in me. I dey feel your recipe. Make you give me that recipe. Fine, fine. Yeah, you fine. You so divine. I dey feel you die.
What's up, people? It's Joel Awesome. We got a new episode of Awesome Entertainment. Alright, man, I'm checking out this video by Legacy on Hardwood, talking about the Thunder. Can they win? Can they beat the 73-9 record? I think we just tied it up. They just busted the Suns' asses by 50 points. They was favored by 15. I was watching a podcast. It's like, no, that's respectful. That's respectful. Because that's lower than the winning percentage or the win differential that they're beating teams by. So having them favored by 15 over the Suns was like respect. And they beat them by 50. It's crazy, man. I used to pray for times like this, man. I used to watch teams like the Warriors and the Spurs and, the Patriots, the Alabama, certain teams that just kept winning and winning. And it's like, what is it like to have that team as your favorite team? So now the sport that I watch the most, my team is on top. Man, I can't get over it, man. I haven't been this happy watching basketball in a long time. And the games are blowouts. It's not even like a good game. But I'm watching the backup players ball on y'all. Brandon Carlson balling on y'all. Anyway, let me get to the video, man. Y'all can keep me. I could talk about the Thunder all day. Hold on.
Okay. I know what you're thinking. Legacy. It's too early in the season to be making these bold predictions. But hear me out for a second. Because what the Oklahoma City Thunder are doing right now
isn't
just good basketball or promising young team stuff or, oh, they'll be dangerous in a few years. Nah. What we're watching feels different. It feels like the kind of story people look back on and say, yeah, that's when everything changed.
That is shit,
and when you have a team that's this young,
that's how I feel.
This versatile, and already this good, it becomes fair, maybe even necessary, to ask the question nobody wants to ask this early in the year. Could the Thunder actually be the next team to challenge the 73?
Come on, man. I think we're going to do it.
Roster built almost entirely,
but we're going to win the championship on top of that.
And borderline ridiculous draft capital actually be the one to threaten the greatest regular season mark in NBA history? Now, before anybody starts throwing tomatoes at the screen, no, I'm not saying they will. But I am saying the ingredients are there in a way that very few teams in NBA history have ever had. Because let's start with the most obvious part of the whole story. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not just good, he's generational. This man went from young OKC piece to future all-star to top 5 player on earth.
Look, man, we knew Shai was going to be good. We saw him on the Clippers. You knew he was going to be good. I didn't know he was going to be the MVP. I didn't know he was going to be this good. I didn't know he was going to be automatic from the minute.
Most players to learn how to use their offense. He dictates pace like Luka, defends like Drew Holiday with longer arms, finishes with the smoothness of a veteran who's been in the league for 12 years.
He has athleticism and he don't use it. He conserves it for its
he does
moment.
all of it without ever feeling
dunk
out
on
of
you
control.
when I need to, but I don't really need to.
His game is slow, methodical,
precise,
until it's not. Until he hits you with that hesitation, that long stride, that mid-range pull-up that looks like he's moving in slow motion while everyone else is sprinting.
He's unguardable, and his footwork is elite.
The closer, and the guy who, if this team actually does sniff the 73-9 conversation, will be the reason they're even allowed in the room. But SGA being elite is only part of the equation. What makes the Thunder dangerous, like dangerously dangerous, like maybe we shouldn't let Sam Presti keep collecting draft picks like Infinity Stones dangerous, is that they've built a roster
I think we should.
Together
I think we get that man a gold jacket.
Jalen Williams has grown.
It's not just collecting picks, it's picking the right people like Jalen Williams.
Who can get you 25 without breaking the offense. He's the kind of player that championship teams almost never have this early. Strong, efficient,
he's so good. It's only like his fourth, fifth year.
Guard 3 positions. He can play with SGA. He can lead a unit without SGA. And when he gets going downhill, good luck stopping him. Then you add Chet Holmgren.
He's stronger than he
somehow
looks.
Looks like he was custom built in a lab specifically for this system. This man blocks shots without jumping, shoots threes like a shooting guard, dribbles like a small forward, and protects the rim like a guy who weighs 70 pounds
he's
more
a
than
unicorn,
he does.
like a
His
real
timing
unicorn.
is ridiculous. His defensive instincts are ridiculous. His perimeter fluidity, ridiculous. It's rare to have a rookie, well, now sophomore, who impacts winning this
Is he a
much on
sophomore?
both ends without even needing the ball. And that's the thing.
He ain't no
doesn't need the
sophomore.
ball.
Ooh,
He just
Draymond
changes
getting
the
bodied.
geometry
That's
of the
crazy.
court
That's gotta
by
get fly.
existing. When he's on the floor, drivers second guess themselves, shooters hesitate, and defenders can't help off him because he'll splash a three without even thinking about
Bro,
it.
he's the
But if
X
Thunder were
factor.
just SGA,
He's the X
two
factor when
great
you think
young
about it. You
players,
got a
that would
7-footer
be
that
one
can
thing.
do everything.
What makes them a potential 73-9 threat
The
is that their
defense.
bench is stupidly good.
Ooh,
Like,
yeah. And the
historically
defense is
good
stupidly
for a
good.
team this young. Isaiah Joe is basically holding a flamethrower disguised as a jump shot. Cason Wallace looks like he was born to play playoff
That's
basketball.
not Cason Wallace.
Smart, disciplined, doesn't
That's
force
Cason
anything,
Wallace.
clamps up whoever you put in front of him. Lugans Dort is still the human brick wall.
That's not Lou Dort. What are we
Crashing
doing?
into screens, fighting through everything like it personally.
This shit is getting
offended him,
racist.
and hitting just enough threes to make you respect him. And then you have guys like Jalen Williams who
Okay,
brings energy,
that's Jalen Williams, but that's the wrong
passing,
spelling. Come
chaos.
on, bro. I
Aaron
don't want to
Wiggins,
hate on
one
your
of the best
video.
bargain glue guys in the league.
You know,
And
you did a lot of
newly
work. I ain't gonna
added
say
pieces
nothing. I ain't
who
gonna
fit
point
the
out the
Thunder mold.
flaws.
Long, smart,
Wrong
unselfish,
spelling,
and
wrong,
capable of
brother.
switching everywhere. So the question becomes, can a team built like this, deep, young, unselfish, fast, and elite on both ends, actually do what the 2016
they
Warriors
can.
did? Can they
They
enter
got
that
this-
73-9
They got the
stratosphere?
ingredients
They even
for the
consider
recipe.
these several
You know what I'm
things.
saying?
A top 5 player to lead the team, elite
We
defensive
just need
versatility,
74.
elite shooting.
We don't even need
lineup
74. We just
flexibility,
need 74
no major weak
wins.
positions, and a coach who can adjust on the fly.
If
while
we
keeping the culture
if
stable.
we bench our
OKC
starters,
checks
AJ Mitchell
literally
might
all
beat
of
y'all.
those boxes, and that's the
He's
scary
like that.
part. Let's break it down from a statistical perspective.
Ooh,
Historically,
that's just-
teams that win 70-plus games.
Y'all
aren't
can't
just
put that
great.
on the highlight.
They're dominant in every measurable
Y'all can't
way.
put that on the highlight.
They're
They gave
usually
us
top
that.
3 in offensive rating and
Okay,
defensive
Draymond.
rating, which almost never happens. The Thunder, even at this early stage, are showing signs of being that kind of two-way monster. They force turnovers constantly. They run the floor with a kind of organized chaos, and they never have a lineup on the court that looks exploitable. There's no drop-off. You don't get the
There's no weak
"Oh, this
defender.
is the
There's not
weak
one.
unit. We can make a run now feeling.
There's
when
not
watching.
one weak defender.
Every group has shooting, defense, playmaking, and athleticism.
Matter of fact, every defender is
Because
above
they're so
average to
deep,
good or
they can
great.
do something that the 2016 Warriors actually didn't do much. They can play a full 48 minutes of pressure without burning out their stars. Golden State had Steph, Clay, Draymond, and a bench that got the job done. But their entire structure was built on star power. OKC's structure is built on flooding the court with 7, 8,
We
9
got
guys
stars. They just
who are
don't-
all
there's
capable
too
of
many
scoring
people to be a
12
star.
20 points on any given night. That matters for a historic record chase because the number one enemy of 70-win potential is fatigue. Injuries, back-to-backs, teams getting hot, schedule quirks.
We too
Most
young for all
teams
that.
crumble
Just take
because
care of
they
the
rely
guys.
too
They
heavily on their
be
top
low
three players.
managing.
OKC doesn't have that problem.
I'm rubbing my
If
hand
SGA
like
sits,
Birdman.
They still have 2 borderline all-stars and
How
4
many
dangerous
championships
role
does it
players.
take to get a
If Chet
dynasty?
sits, they go smaller, but they stay fast. If Jalen sits, Dort and Cason Wallace anchor the defense, and Joe starts bombing from deep.
Jalen Williams
The
is
Thunder can
defender.
win
All
games in multiple
NBA.
ways. And that's the defining trait of teams that flirt with historic records. Some nights they shoot teams out of the building. Some nights they defend teams into submission. Some nights SGA just takes over because he feels like it.
'Cause he
Some
feels
nights,
like
Chet has 6 blocks and 20 points on 10
Chet's
shots.
the X factor,
Some nights Jalen Williams picks apart mismatches
Jalen
like
Williams
a
is the
surgeon.
X factor.
Some nights they hit 18 threes. Some nights they run you into exhaustion. Versatility wins.
They're gonna pick your pockets.
Depth
They're gonna
wins.
flood the
Youth
passing lanes.
wins. And the Thunder have all 3 at extreme levels. But let's zoom out for a second, because chasing 73-9 isn't just about talent. It's about mentality. The Warriors weren't just good, they were obsessed. Obsessed with proving a point, obsessed with playing perfect basketball, obsessed with proving to the world that a jump shooting team could dominate the NBA.
But we know defense wins championship. That's what we got.
Does OKC have that mentality? Do they have the internal hunger to chase greatness this early? Honestly, maybe. Because what's interesting about this Thunder team is that they don't play like they're young at all. They play with maturity, patience, and discipline that usually takes teams years to develop. They never seem rattled.
You drafted a certain person with a certain mentality.
They never collapse.
You know what I mean?
Pressure.
Sports is a mental game.
Mark Daigneault might be the most underrated
you drafted
coach
people
in the entire
who are
NBA.
going to play defense.
His rotations are precise.
Share.
His adjustments are
play
quick.
well with others.
His player development culture is elite. His system empowers creativity without letting chaos break structure. That is exactly the kind of coach a historic team needs. And another factor that almost no one talks about. The Thunder don't have egos in the way most upcoming
Did I not
teams
just talk about that?
No one is demanding shots.
Did I
no
not
one is
just say
trying to be
that?
the face of the team. No one is sulking about touches.
It don't matter
They
when you win a
are the purest
championship.
version of team basketball we've seen since the Spurs and early Warriors.
Let's go.
That kind of harmony is extremely rare, and it's a major reason the Thunder could stay consistent over an entire season. Now, am I saying they're guaranteed to challenge 73-9? No, obviously
Oh, we're
not.
definitely gonna
That
challenge
record
it.
is ridiculous for a
Are we
reason.
gonna get it? It's a
requires
question mark. I
absurd
think so.
consistency, insane
I should go
injury
make a
luck,
bet. I don't gamble,
perfect
but I should go
chemistry,
make a bet.
and
I'm gonna put
sometimes
$5
outright
on.
miracles. The 2016 Warriors had to come back from impossible deficits, hit clutch shots for 6
I
months
really
straight,
thought Russ and
survive
KD was gonna
teams
get
that
him,
wanted
man. We was up
nothing more
fucking
than to be the
3-1,
one to
dog.
break their streak. It's exhausting.
Bro, OKC, we
It's
deserve
mentally
this
draining.
shit, dog. I'm telling
And
you.
the Thunder
The
are
shit
still
we had to
young
go
enough
through.
that there could be nights where they look like a young team. But the question isn't will they, it's could they? And the answer is absolutely yes. Because think about it. Who matches up with OKC well? Most teams can't switch 1
The
through
team
5.
I'm worried about is the
Most
Nuggets,
teams
man. The
can't keep up
Nuggets,
with their
Jokic is
pace.
unguardable.
Most teams can't deal with their shooting
Unmatchable. It's
and
weird.
their
You
rim
know what I
protection.
mean? Just a
Most teams
weird
don't have
player.
the
You
depth
can't
to
guard it.
survive their bench units. And many elite contenders, Boston, Denver, Milwaukee, are built on older stars who have to manage their minutes. The Thunder are built for the grind. They're built for the marathon. They're built for the 82-game war. And maybe the scariest part of all, they haven't even peaked yet. Chet is going to get stronger.
I don't think Chet's in
Jalen
his
Williams
prime
is
yet.
still
I don't think
improving
Jalen
shot
Williams in his
creation.
prime
SGA
yet.
is still refining his playmaking.
SGA
Their
is
young
getting
bench
better.
players are
Like
getting
Steph
smarter
did.
every
Steph, you know,
game.
he was like,
Their
did he win
system
the?
is becoming more
I
polished.
think he was a
Their
candidate for
chemistry
most
is
improved
getting
player.
tighter.
I think he might have won.
And their
when
identity
he won the
is
MVP.
becoming sharper.
He might
This
not.
team is ahead of
I know
schedule
he's a
in a way
candidate.
that feels almost unfair.
He won the
If you were
MVP
building a potential
2015, came
73-9
back,
contender from
candidate
scratch,
most improved player.
you'd
That's
want
how
a
SGA
superstar who
looked.
controls games
I won't
at
say
an
most
elite
improved,
level.
but definitely
A second star
very
who can
improved.
score without disrupting the offense. A unicorn big who protects the rim and spaces the floor.
It's not fair.
A top-tier defensive wing. Elite
not
three-point
fair.
shooting across the roster. A bench that doesn't drop off. A young core that
The
can
bench
handle
is nasty,
back-to-backs and
man.
heavy
Carlson, the
minutes.
dude
A coach
from
who
Australia,
doesn't panic. A front office
the other
that
dude
stays patient. The Thunder literally check every box. So while it's early, yes, extremely early, the idea that
Yeah,
the Thunder
early,
could
right
be
on
the
time.
next team to make a run at 73-9 isn't crazy. It's not delusional. It's not fan fiction. It's a real possibility if things break right. And sometimes in the NBA, that's all you need.
It's not too early, bro.
Maybe the Thunder don't chase the record. Maybe they don't care
Chase
about
that
it.
shit. We gonna get it.
Maybe they finish with 60-something wins and enter the playoffs as the most dangerous team no one wants to see. But if they ever decide, even for a moment, that they want to push history, they have the pieces. They have the foundation. They have the timing. And they have
Man,
the
they might
talent
break
to
the
make
record with
noise
10
on a
games
level
left,
that very few young teams ever
with
have.
7 games left,
So
and
yeah,
then take it.
maybe it is
and
too
then
early
take
in the
everybody
season to
out.
be talking like this. Maybe it's too early to project greatness.
Nah, it's
Too
not.
early to throw around history. Too early to put pressure
If
on
you
a
see
team
it,
this
you know
young.
what it's supposed
But
to
watching
be.
the Thunder
And if it's-
dominate with chemistry,
You know, you don't see any
confidence,
flaws.
and
It should
precision.
work out the way it's
Rarely
not. And
seen
when
in
it
a team
doesn't,
with
it
this little
makes a more
experience.
interesting story. But that's not
It's
what we
hard
want.
not to at least wonder. Because sometimes the signs are there early. Sometimes a team arrives before the world is ready. And sometimes The future doesn't wait for the calendar. It just shows up. And if the early part of this
Yeah.
season is any indication, the
Y'all wasn't
Oklahoma City
ready.
Thunder might be one of those teams.
We did it
A
the
team
slow
built
way.
for something bigger. A team built for a run at history. A team young enough to not feel pressure. Good enough to beat anyone.
Yeah.
And deep enough to win
It's
even on
talent
nights they're
with,
not perfect.
with the right mentality.
So
you know
can
what
they
I mean?
beat the 73-9 record? If any team in the modern NBA has a real shot, it might be this one. Has a real shot.
Look, man, I remember when the Warriors was doing their thing, they was saying Steph Curry the greatest shooter of all time. Everybody was like, yo, it's too early. It's too early. And then what happened? I was part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's too early. You got to wait for, you know, do win a bunch of championships, a bunch of MVPs, beat my team a bunch of times. I'm like, you know what? I should have seen it when y'all seen it. Now I ain't holding back, man. Look, we see what it is. To me, you get 3 championships within a 5-6 year period. That's a dynasty. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the ones that you don't get, you were, you know, competing for, or you may have lost the finals or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Someone twisted their ankle and y'all didn't make it. But other than that, if you win in about 3 championships within about a 6 year period, you a dynasty to me. That's how I feel. So, you know, we need 2 more. We need 2 more. I think they're gonna break the record this year. I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna finish it and win the chip this year. The East, I'm not really worried about, man. Until someone, I mean, Halliburton was going crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Someone can always do that. Jalen Brunson's crazy clutch. But I don't see nobody in the East stopping us. I'm worried about the West teams more than anybody. Really just the Nuggets, Spurs if Wembanyama playing, and then and the Houston Rockets. But other than that, I ain't really worried about nobody else. If we can get to the championship, we can win the championship, man. Now I ain't know about the Cup game. The Cup game's coming up. We better play the Spurs. You're gonna see how that go. But you know, those are one game tournaments, one game. You know, it's not an exhibition, but one game tournament. So you could fuck around and find out. You know what I mean, and lose one of them games and be out the Cup. But in a 7-game series, I don't think y'all getting us. I don't think that's happening. Either way, let me know what you think. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. I'm out.
Don't play with my patience, man, they gone with the flow when they tryna fake it. That's not the way I roll, that's not the combination. You start off with the dough before you start the conversation. No one start the salutations, man, don't play with me. I'm coming from a place they would hate to be. I'm going through a phase you would hate to see. They say this life's a trip, ain't no telling where it's taking me. When you on the edge and you make your next move, better be your best. Before you throw it to the depths, better reinvest. Man, I count every moment and count every step, so I know I'm blessed. Now it's time to